I'm not into shiny hunting like others do because it's a very rare encounter. The encounter rate is 1 over 4096. But unlike in the older games, legends see a Pokemon spawns in the overworld, so it's still hard to find, but not as hard in earlier generations. To add to this, I got a shiny charm, so I decided why not made a reward matches hardcore Nuzlocke, but shiny only. The rules were no overleveling, the level cap is 76, no healing items during battle, but held items are okay. No changing of nature of Pokemons, shiny Pokemons only, and I need to catch it on a wild zone. Speaking of wild zones, the rule encounter is 1 Pokemon per wild zone, and the first shiny that I see will be caught. Shiny Pokemons that I encounter outside of the wild zones will not count, inside only. Lastly, to complete this Nuzlocke, I need to win 15 straight times in reward matches. So without further ado, let's get into it. After I got the Chinese charm from Mayball, I quickly went to Wild Zone 1 and quickly got a shiny. But it's just a Scatterbug, a B tier shiny for me. This was a bad start, but it's shiny, so I'm still happy. Next was Wild Zone 2. After a very fast shiny in Wild Zone, this zone needed at least 1 hour of resetting. Well, it's not that bad considering my second shiny was an Alpha Staryu. The white color palette made this Pokemon look cool. S tier shiny. In this time, I didn't knew that bench method was the best method. I just ran in circle around the wild zones over and over, especially in Wild Zone 3. This was the same as last time, but this time, it's just a Flabebe. I did the same in Zone 4, but this area irritates me because of shiny encounters outside the Wild Zone. I got 2 Kakunas, 2! But in the end, I got Ghastly. A C-tier shiny. Wild Zone 5. This zone is very large compared to the last wild zones, but thankfully, Lady Luck was on my side. In just less than 30 minutes, I got a shiny Bellsprout. Next was Wild Zone 6. I did the stair method hoping that I get a shiny Houndoom or Houndour. But in the end, I got a shiny fighting type Pokemon, Meditite. This is not bad. Medicham will give me a psychic and fighting coverage. Then in Wild Zone 7, I gave up my shiny hunting method which was running around like a crazy person. And I did research that bench method was the best, so I did it. And I got a shiny Kakuna. What the heck? I already got 2 last time. Anyways, Wild Zone 8, a ground Pokemon Haven. I needed this against electric type specialists like Canary. And after an hour, I got a shiny PG outside the Wild Zone. Then another 30 minutes of fast traveling method. I finally got a shiny Machop. Man, I already got a fighting type. Getting shiny always gave me happiness, but after a few seconds, I remember I am doing a Nuzlocke, so that happiness turned into anxiety. Like in Wild Zone 9. I got a freaking Corvink. Next was Wild Zone 10. After a lot of fast traveling, I got a shiny Carvanha. The shiny Pokemon for me is A tier. My taste in shiny Pokemons is that the shiny version should be more colorful than the normal version. And the color should be right for that Pokemon, like this Carvanha, a good shiny. Like in Wild Zone 1, Wild Zone 11 gave me a shiny as soon as I enter, and it gave me a shiny Clownshare. Look at that shiny, very orange, a great difference from normal. Next was an icy Wild Zone. Wild Zone 12. Of course, it gave me my first ice Pokemon, True Snowbird. Not gonna lie, this shiny was mid. Then in Wild Zone 13, it was Pinsir, an 8-year shiny. I really needed a fire type or ground at this point, or the challenge will be hard. Then in Wild Zone 14, I'm hoping this time that I finally got a ground type, because this zone composed of mostly ground Pokemons. But I got a shiny Layron instead. C tier shiny, the color doesn't move me. Next was Wild Zone 15. This zone doesn't have the Pokemon that I really needed, so any would be okay. And it was a Pumpkaboo. I like the violet, so I think it's a B tier shiny. After that, in Zone 16, I already got a Medicham through Meditite and Florges through Flabébé, so I thought that I will get another fighting type, and it was Shiny Phalanx. Shiny Phalanx design doesn't cook for me, but I understand why a lot of people like this. You know what I mean? Then I got happy that I will finally get a fire type because in Wild Zone 17, there are a lot of Fire Lions, a lot of Pyroars. I just need to reset a lot and supposedly get a shiny Pyroar. It's a shiny Skarmory. This was rare, but come on, man. I'm happy that I got this rare shiny. I really do. But I really needed a fire type against Steel Specialist trainers. I tried to get a shiny Fennekin in Zone 17 by sitting on this particular bench. Once again, I failed. I got a shiny Swablu instead. And a shiny Bygone. I didn't always get what I wanted, but getting a shiny gave me a dopamine. Bygone will not be on my team because the rules state that the first shiny only that I get will be the one that I will use. So Swablu was my encounter. Then in Wild Zone 18, there is an EV for a Flareon, but my hope went away at this time. So I'm not expecting, and I was right. It was a Dark Violet Furfrou. Furfrou is not a strong Pokemon, but it had a great shiny. Lastly, Wild Zone 20. It's hard to get a shiny you want here because of a few spawns unlike the last Wild Zones. So I'm not expecting to get a fire type like Charmander. So I just sat on a bench. And it was a Rose Raid. Nice. With that, I got a shiny in every Wild Zone and I just did it in 34 hours. I started with 88 hours of playtime and I finished in 122. Wow. With that all being said, let's get into the battles. My first 6 was Starmie. This Starmie that I got had a bad nature lowering special attack. Then the moveset composed of Protect, Psychic, and Strong Water moves. Then Machoke, I can't trade it because I might not get it back. This Green Macho Man got a neutral nature, a fighting moves, Thunder Punch for coverage, and holding a muscle band. Next was Altaria, holding a Life Orb instead of Mega Stone, a neutral nature. Then Rose Raid was the same with neutral nature and my Poison Setter against strong Pokemons. Another grass type was on my team, but this was just my sacrifice. Come on, it's a Pumpkaboo. Speaking of sacrifice, I got another one, True Furfrou, a speed increasing nature and normal moves and crunch, but I might change it to Fire Fang or Ice Fang because I don't really have an answer against steel types. My goal in this challenge was 15 straight wins. And my first fight was Asami, the fashion designer. Asami's team was full of Florges. Thankfully, I always start my Poison Setter in my team, so Rose Raid beat the first Florges easily. But the second Florges knew Psychic, so she almost killed my Rose Pokemon, but I immediately switched out to Starmie to finish her. Then got a very long fight with my Furfrou. My shiny dog survived because of the citrus berry, then win using takedown. After that, Rose Raid beat another Florges. The last bout was between Machoke and Florges. Yeah, I knew it's a bad matchup. I didn't have a choice. This Giga Chad didn't disappointed me. Surviving the Moonblast, then with the help of Power Up Punch, the Thunder Punch, weighted damage, the Fairy, winning my first fight. The next match was... Yikes. He was the reason why I need fire or ground type Pokemons. Thankfully, Steelix was his start and Ghost Ray just obliterated him using Giga Drain. Scizor was a different story though. Ghost Ray obviously didn't stand a chance because of his typing, and what will I do? I didn't have an answer and let my Rose Pokemon die. Ghost Ray needed to get sacked so I can safely switch to Pumpkaboo for a Will-O-Wisp, and with the burn, Scizor attack greatly decreased. And because of that, my normal Pokemon Furfrou get neck and neck against the Skullbug using Fire Fang. I sent out Machoke before Felipe sent out a Pokemon because Steel is weak to fighting, so Machoke was the best choice. But Felipe sent out a Steel Fairy Klefki, so I retreated to avoid losing Machoke. I picked Starmie because this star was the best choice. I Mega Evolved Patrick immediately, but still, Klefki put up a fight against my Mega. This was just a key why I am having difficulty with this key. Anyways, I easily beat the Agon, of course. Then his last Pokemon was Skarmory. Mega Skarmory to be exact. This Mega Evolution was an S tier for me. Yeah, I know, it just mostly changed color. But come on, look at the Skarmory. It looks cool. I tried to Will-O-Wisp using Pumpkaboo, but Skarmory got to hit first. So Skarmory's Tail Wing hurt so much against my Furfrou. I tried Machoke for a Power Up Punch, Thunder Punch combo, but to no avail. I sent out Antaria, then used Cotton Guard for additional defense. And it's very effective. Skarmory didn't give a lot of damage because of the defense buff, surviving this atrocious battle. The fight resulted to 3 deaths, so it's time for Victreebel to shine. A poison setter like Ghost Raid, with a bad nature because I want my Victreebel to be physical attacker. Then my new fighting type, Medicham. Look, I didn't like shiny Meditype. But this evolution was the reason I like it more now. Lastly, the most beautiful shiny that I had, Florges. At first, I just ignored shiny Flabebe when I caught it because I can see the shiny, it's so small. But her evolution made her bigger, so the shiny was shown beautifully. With all that, let's get in the third fight. It was Lida. She started with Clawitzer and I doubly started with Altaria instead of Victreebel. But it doesn't matter, Altaria still won. I switched against Vanillux obviously and let Furfrou melt the ice cream. After that, I let my favorite shiny Pokemon, Florges, shine. Greatly damaged the opposing Pokemon using Moonblast. But when I was in low health, I just used a Plus Move, Draining Kiss to recover. Her last Pokemon was Starmie. Then I finally sent out Victreebel. Then we Mega Evolved. I knew that one Psychic move will greatly damage my last Pokemon, but I had trust in my Pokemon, and Victreebel didn't betray my trust. Surviving with 26 HP left, then one-shot the Patrick from SpongeBob looking Pokemon, winning the fight. Next was another Team MC member, Naveen. His first Pokemon was strong against Fairy type, and Altaria of course took care of the spider. But most of his next Pokemons were weak against Fairy type, like Sableye, so I sent out Florges. Another weak to fairy Pokemon was sent out, Crocodile. Of course, Florges didn't had a hard time beating the Croc. I switched out against Aegislash though, to be safe, and sent out Starmie who had an easy win using Surf and Bubble Beam respectively. Lastly, Mega Scrafty. With a very strong Fairy type on my team, Florges, I one-shotted the Mega, winning the fight. Next was a Canary Fan, and this battle showed me that if I fought Canary, I was gonna be alright. Because Victreebel can take an electric move and had a recovery move through Giga Drain. If a flying electric Pokemon like Emolga was the opponent, I just used another Pokemon like Florges. This fairy Pokemon can tank a special attack that electric types mostly use. To add to that, Florges holding a fairy feather got a high special attack that can highly damage the opposing Pokemon. A very great Pokemon, just avoid steel or poison. Victreebel finished the fight because this man last Pokemon, Raichu, knew a steel move, Iron Tail. After the fight, I got a problem. The level cap problem. Marshmallow, my Altaria was level 75 and a few inches from the level cap 76. So I benched my Cloud Pokemon and replaced him with Bibilion. My 6th fight was Emma. There were no threats in her team and her ace, Mega Malamar, was the weakest Mega I've ever seen. So I was confident entering this battle. Victreebel beat the Ampharos but with less than 100 HP left. Then I switched out against Lopunny because this bunny knew Ice or Fire Punch. Obviously, Medicham, my fighting type, beat the normal type. To counter the Medicham, Emma sent out her fairy, Mawile. As we all know, Mawile had a very weak special defense, so Starmie beat the Mawile easily. After that, she sent out a grass type through Abomasnow. And I didn't have a fire Pokemon but I had a strong fairy, Florges. Then Florges survived the power-up punch, Stone Edge combo, and beat Lucario with the help of the move Draining Kiss. Malamar was sent out and this Pokemon was super weak against Bug, so I sent out Bibilion. At first, the fight went on my way, but when Mega Malamar used Night Slash, the tide changed. It was because of the critical hit and Bibilion, even with the Citrus Berry, just almost beat the Mega. My 4th row finished the job, winning my 6th straight win. Bibilion was my 4th death and I replaced the Bug with the Ghost Hunter. A special attack increasing nature which was good, but this specific Ghost Pokemon was known for being a glass cannon, but we'll see. The next fight was Ivor, the leader of Fist of Justice. As his title says, his team composed of fighting types. So I fight with magic through my strongest Pokemon, Florges. Florges just swept Ivor's Pokemon, Moonblast and Dazzling Gleam for great damage. Then Draining Kiss for recovery. A perfect Pokemon against this man, getting my 7th straight win. Okay, my 8th battle was against Canary, an electric specialist. This was the second boss that I had a problem with my team because I didn't have a ground type. But earlier, a Canary fan fought me and I won. So I am confident unlike last time with Steel Specialist Felipe. The first bout went long against Heliolisk but ultimately Victreebel won. My first move was Giga Drain and it just dealt a very little damage against Ampharos, so I panicked and Mega Evolved Victreebel. With the help of Poison Jab, that poisoned Ampharos, I beat the opposing Pokemon. Then the next 3 Pokemon, Manectric, Stunfisk, and Dedenne, doesn't stand a chance against my Mega. Her last Pokemon was Mega Electros. I got a plan because I thought Mega Victreebel with almost half of HP left will die against this eel. The plan was to switch out to Hunter and use Curse to deal damage over time. Yeah, I knew that I should just use Toxic from Victreebel, but I was scared that my gas Pokemon that I need until the end will die. And I kinda forgot to teach Hunter Toxic too. My bad. Now, I just stall. Then sent out Flurges, and Flurges survived Mega Electro's high damage attacks and won. Hunter died, so I replaced him with Beedrill, another poison type. Of course, I made the Bee a poison setter, and the rest of her moves were all attacking moves like U-turn, Poison Jab, and X-Scissor. The next opponent was very easy. An office lady, and she started with a fairy type. Then, Beedrill obliterated Aromatisse. Then, my Florges beat the Slowbro, then back to Beedrill when she sent out Slurpuff. And her last Pokemon was Bibilion, who Starmie beat easily. The next fight was a repeat, Canary again. But Legend CA battle system is not turn-based, so it doesn't mean that this will be easy. And remember, I lost Pokemons against Canary. Beedrill beat Heliolisk but got a paralysis in return. Then switched out to Victreebel when I remembered that Ampharos got a move Power Gem. Thankfully, Canary didn't use Power Gem as a first move against Beedrill. I forgot again that Ampharos knew Ice Punch. Thankfully, I got Giga Drain and Victreebel tanked the ice move to beat the Ampharos. Same as last time, Manectric, Stunfisk, and Dedenne doesn't stand a chance against my Grass Poison Pokemon. Last time I switched out my Victreebel against the Eel because I'm a coward, but this time I did not. We both Mega Evolved and hit each other. Both Mega Evolution went neck and neck. My Victreebel got a poison, but near the end, Electros will use a flamethrower. Of course, I immediately switched Victreebel into Florges, and with Mega Electros low HP, Florges won me my 10th battle. After that, another battle that is easy if I had a freaking ground type, Corbeau. I let Beedrill fought Arbok, but the snake proved to be strong, so I switched out to my fighting type Medicham. Medicham won, but Arbok knew Fire Fang, so Medicham got a burn and lower my Pokemon attack. So I switched out to Starmie, but immediately switched to Furfrou when Corbeau sent out Rose Raid instead. Furfrou with the moves Ice Fang and Fire Fang made the Rose Raid faint, but Rose Raid Sludge Bomb poisoned my dog, and because of that, Furfrou fainted too. Next was Barbaracle. Obviously, Victreebel one-shot Barbaracle, then the problematic Gyarados was sent out. I wanted Gyarados to be poisoned first before switching out, but Corbeau used Bounce, so I didn't get what I wanted. I sent out my secret weapon against this strong Pokemon, like Gyarados. The fight was close, but ultimately, Florges won because I had a recovery move, Training Kiss. After Gyarados, Corbeau sent out Garbodor, who was beaten by my Psychic type, Starmie. Then his last Pokemon was Mega Scolipede. I didn't get scared that my Starmie will lose, and I'm confident that Psychic will one-shot the Mega, winning my 11th battle. Furfrou. My dog, my sacrifice, died, but to be honest, I didn't expect that he will come this far. Bench report, At this time, I benched my superstar Florges because she was at level 75, nearing the level cap. So I replaced her with this cool shiny Torpedo. I like the violet color of this shiny, an S tier shiny. Anyways, Torpedo had a high attack, base stats, but this Pokemon is a glass cannon. Look at that defense. Yikes. Then Carbink will replace Purple, and this Rock Fairy Pokemon is the opposite of Torpedo. No offense, but with a very high defense. So I taught this Pokemon hazard moves like Stealth, Rock, and Spike. Next was the beautiful Grisel of Team Player Nobu. My start was bad, which was Big Rebel, but I tried to win even at a disadvantage. But I failed, of course. Carbink, holding a citrus berry, finished the job using a 4-time super effective power gem. Then, Camerap was sent out and I switched to Starmie and just used Bubble Beam to finish the job. Starmie is a water type, so Grisel's team should be easy, but her Aerodactyl knew a dark move and almost beat my Starmie using Stone Edge. But I switched at the right time. But Aerodactyl health was low, so Medicham just one-shot the rock-flying Pokemon with ease. Next was Metagross. I thought I gonna get a hit before switching out, but Metagross Psycho Cut one-shot my fighting type. After that, I sent out my Dark Shark and Mega Evolve it, and I needed to be careful here though, because Torpedo defense was very low, but it doesn't matter. Because Metagross doesn't have an effective move or super effective move against my Shark. Same as Pyroar, or should I say Mega Pyroar. This Lion was a fire Pokemon, so it's not very effective and had a move Snarl, a not very effective move too. With that, Torpedo just obliterated the Lion, winning the fight. The death toll in this challenge increased to 7. I'm not worried though because I'm near the finish line. I replaced my fighting type to another fighting type, Phalanx, with a very bad nature. My 13th fight was a waiter, Rintaro. His team was composed of 3 elemental monkeys, Simisage, who was beaten by a poison move, and Simipour, who was beaten by a grass move by Big Rebel. Then Torpedo just one-shot Espion using Crunch, and Simisure should be an easy one, but Rintaro timed his Protect. Then before I finished his Fire Monkey, he used Solar Beam, so I panic switched to Big Rebel and let Starmie finish Simisure. Lastly, Umbreon. I let my newly added Pokemon in my roster to finish the fight, getting my 13th straight win. The second to the last fight was my bro, Nabin. He was a repeat too, but my team was very different than last time. Like Carbink, who defeated his Ariados with the expense of very low health. So I switched out to Torpedo and Aegislash. Didn't have a chance to attack because Nabin used King Shield and that move took a long time to get done. I stayed against Sableye and beat the gem Pokemon. Then one-shot the ground crocodile using liquidation. Because Crafty was sent out and Torpedo was in low health, I thought this was the right time to send out my ace, Fairy Florges, who obviously one-shot the dark and fighting Pokemon to win the fight. It's finally the last fight. It might be very strong trainers like Tony or maybe Philippe again, the steel type specialist. So I went all out and it means I need to bench my Glass Cannon Shark. Then my final team were Carbink holding a Citrus Berry and my Hazard Setter. Big Rebel with a Mega Stone, a Poison Setter and my Grass type. Starmie with a Mega Stone 2 and my Water type. Beedrill with Beedrillite and a Poison Setter 2 and my Bug. Then my ace, my favorite Pokemon in this challenge, Florges holding a Fairy Feather. Lastly, my Dragon, Altaria. And my last fight was Zack, the taxi driver. Come on, man. I strategized against strong trainers like Tony and Felipe. And the last fight resulted to only Zack. A bit of a disappointment and anticlimactic to say the least. But Pokemon was sometimes about luck and patience. And I did just that in this challenge, having patience to wait for a shiny and having luck to get a shiny. This is it for me. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you want more. See you in the next.